All right, guys, thank you for joining us today. We have here very special guests from our very own. Go ahead, buddy.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Adrian Capestani. I'm the broker owner of Home Prime Realty, the one right here, a partial owner of this one right here, Prime Flip. It's very simple. What we try to do is just make real estate easy for everyone out there. How we do that? We do that with these kind of videos, like educational videos. That way we can share our perspective as a professional, as a realtor with you guys, and that way you guys have more information that is not usual to have it out there.
Okay, and we've spent most of the week talking about fix and flip properties and how we can help some of our investors with their fix and flip properties. So you've been in the game a little longer than I have, so I'm sure you've probably dealt with more rookies investors than I have. So if you want to start, go ahead.
Well, let me start saying that everybody's a rookie on this game because every transaction is completely different. There is not a same transaction. Each one has different challenge for everybody, even for experienced investors. For me in particular, I'm kind of like pay more attention of location, and how much I'm gonna spend on the property. I usually, what I do is drive around the zip code or the area that I feel comfortable, that I know the price, how the property is how they say the property on that area. That way I know the value of the real estate in a specific area. For me, that's the key. You need to know the market. You need to know where are you looking at in terms of where are you gonna put your money on, and that's what I do. I just drive, around the properties, around the neighborhood, and if I see something that is not in good state, in good shape, what I do is just try to get in contact with the seller directly and try to make a negotiation with them.
Okay, so you're really trying to specialize in a certain area.
That's what I do.
What recommendations, and kind of just to kind of leave this in the back. So when I said dealing with more of rookie investors, so I have learned that every single transaction is different, and every single transaction comes with those people's problems, which is what makes it different. But what I was kind of referring to as a rookie investor was kind of just knowing the basics of maybe what it takes to flip a property, because I've personally worked with a few investors that are asking me like, hey, what offer do you think I should make? How much do you think the house could be sold for? Or just something as simple as a question like, hey, is there money to be made in this house?
Well, in that situation, that particular situation, I recommend every rookie investor, everybody that wants to join this board of investment in real estate, the first they need to do is hire a realtor, and make sure this realtor have a time for you, because if the realtor is so busy, this kind of realtor that have 20 transactions a month, probably they will not have a time to go pair with you and go to the property, do some numbers, spend some time with you, looking at properties and stuff like that. So I personally recommend you guys to hire a realtor, someone that is not new but have some experience to work with real estate investors, because those realtors know how to do their numbers. Probably 60% of the business is on numbers. For me, 60% is on numbers. The rest is on market and how you do your labor inside the property. But yeah, so for those rookie investors, the first thing you need to do is hire a realtor, sit down with a realtor, explain them what do you want to do on this situation, on this particular situation, and what kind of house are you looking for, what is your budget in case you don't have any budget. So what options do you have out there that we can talk about later, about funding and stuff like that.
How much of the process do you think a realtor is involved? Like, for example, most investors, this is your business. You know what I'm saying? So a realtor is really, for me, just kind of like an advisor, let's say. It seems like a lot of people want or expect the realtor to do the majority of the work.
Well, that's a mistake from the investor. First, because the realtor is the one that will lock the property for you, the one that will send the offer, the one that will negotiate the terms. But as investor myself, and with my experience, I like to do that. Like when I got my numbers, I know the offer that I'm gonna send. I don't have to ask any realtor about what offer do you think I should send to them. So I already got that covered on my side. But for realtors, of course, they need those skills from the realtor in order to send a good offer, a competitive offer in this market. It's very hard right now. You need to send your highest and best. And you need to make sure you cover all your expenses and you make some money because you get into this business to make some money at the end of the day, And, the realtor can be about 100% or can be about just 25% of the deal, of the transaction. It depends, depend on you.
Right. And while we're kind of on the subject, maybe we can talk a little bit about deal check and how they can use that to their benefit.
Yeah, of course. So if you can share the screen, we can show them, a little bit how we do it, our numbers.
How's that look?
Looks good, actually.
Okay, so this is actually our own deal check. I believe the platform itself, it's about, we have I believe the middle package, and it was only like 150 or 200 bucks for the entire year.
It's pretty cheap for the value that they provide to us, to be honest.
It's super cheap. This program alone should cost honestly a few $1,000 a year for the value that it's honestly provided.
Don't give them.
Yeah, I ain't trying to. But I believe we actually do have an affiliate account with them. I'll look into that and post it if we do. That way you guys can get a discount. But kind of just a quick, super quick brief overview of it. You kind of just come into the property and you import the data. It does get it from the MLS, so it's going to like say the address or here. And then you also get it with some pictures and stuff like that. So I actually just show you guys a quick example. This one was off market, so it's actually not grabbing any of the pictures, but if the property is on the market, they'll actually go ahead and grab those pictures straight from the MLS as well.
And even if it doesn't have any picture and it was on the market before, they grab the picture that they have before. Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. But pretty much this is really what you're focused on here. It's just your purchase price, your after repair value. Now, one of the things that I have noticed that I did want to mention real quick, it says view recent sales comp, and it's going to kind of give you a number of what it thinks the property is worth. I wouldn't trust this number a shit ton. If you see, we're over here at 490, and they're estimating 427. So essentially that could kind of be a big difference. I would find another way to get your after repair value either with your agent or whatever.
Yeah, that is one of the the value that the agent can provide to the table in this case.
Yeah, this is definitely what your agent is here for, to help you with the after repair value. One of the cool things, and this is for me, this is what I see the biggest mistakes, and many of the investors that I'm personally working with is they don't even know what the cost of the money that they're borrowing is. So they're not taking that into effect when they're purchasing a house. So they just see like these two numbers up here, and then they're like, okay, it's going to cost me $50,000 to rehab that. Boom, the rest is profit. But they're not counting, for example, like the points. So if you notice on here, we're putting 4 points of the purchase price.
Interest rate right there too.
Yeah, so interest rate, they're pretty good with their interest rates. Some of them actually don't even know what interest rates they're getting charged.
Just to let's give a spotlight right here really quick. So people are worried about how much they're gonna pay in interest rate. In this case, a hard money lender that is charging us 12%. Guys, this is some money that we don't have or we don't use. So we use other people's money, and of course, they need to make profit on it. So 12% is actually low for the amount of profit that we're gonna make on this deal, for example. People.
Yeah, so guys, real estate, it's all about everybody has to eat. And essentially, I kind of walk this through you real quick, and then we'll talk about the money on the inside. So if you notice, like how many points the cost to purchase, your down payment, your interest rate, all those things, how much is it going to cost you to rehab? Cost overrun 10% is usually pretty good. That all depends on you. how many months are you planning to hold the house? Guys, a huge expense that people don't look into is how much that property is costing you just to hold it there. And then holding costs, this is pretty much like the insurance, the taxes,
any
electrical bill and stuff
blah,
like that.
yeah.
And then your selling costs, that's how much your realtor, how much you're gonna charge, how much your realtor is charging you and your
Plus,
closing costs.
yeah,
and
plus
those
those
things.
things, correct.
So if you notice, you kind of just plug all those numbers in, and when you click property analysis, it tells you absolutely everything. How much money needs to come out of your pocket, how much money, if you don't have this amount of money in your bank account, for example, or you don't feel like you can come up with this money anyway, then this is not a deal for you.
Correct.
So cash needed is definitely how much money you're going to need. And this doesn't include, if you notice, we're purchasing the price for the property for $335,000. So this doesn't include any of that. $55,000 profit. It tells you your ROI, return on investment, and your annualized ROI, because this is going based off of the 4 months that we have the property for. So what's really cool about this too is when you come to reports and sharing. So this is actually what we send to our lenders. That way everybody can be on the same page.
Yeah, go back.
My shit. Okay, so if you notice here, property address, how much we think we can sell it for, how much we're buying it for, how much cash we need, how much we're looking to make, our percentages, which is very important to our investors. A picture of the property, all of the information. of the
Picture,
property.
location, you know, area picture as well. Financing, purchase price, everything. I mean, you have everything right there.
Everything that you're gonna need numbers wise should be on this deal check, and it's all one place to get it from. This is actually what our hard money lender looks at. So he's gonna see that it's interest only at 12%. This is how much he's gonna let us borrow, which is 80%. Loan to value, which is actually what we're going to sell for. They like to definitely stay around this number, definitely under 75%.
Yeah, they want to do, I mean, the max they can do is 75.
Yeah.
And when they do 75, they pretty much cover all your rehab costs.
Yep. And then last thing is your loan payments, how much that's going to pay a month. Remember, this is interest only, so that's doesn't come down from that. And then pretty much just everything that you're literally, every number that you need is going to tell you on here, and you're going to look a lot more professional, and you're going to look a lot more like you know exactly what you're doing when you send this to somebody.
That's pretty much what differentiates you from other people, you know.
100%.
When you send this to the lender, along with the CMA, with a good CMA, proving your stuff, proving your numbers, that will look very good in front of your computer, and that will give him a lot of more trust to give you the money.
Yeah. And then on here, you can also see like different months. If for whatever reason your contractors took a little longer, you do see how your cost is going to go up and how your profit is going to come down every single month that passes. This simple thing alone will differentiate you from about 90% of the investors that are out there right now. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of clients that when we send this, they say, what the heck is this? You know, well, please help me to read this number. You send me a bunch of number, I don't know what to say. And if we have a disclaimer down there, you know, this is pretty good, to be honest with you. I really like it.
And it also has this right here that I just clicked on, a one-page report. If you really don't want to get super fancy with it, just a picture.
And that's it.
How much you need, what your profit's looking like, and your percentage returns. So this is a great tool that I really recommend you guys to use. It's also great to kind of know
the offer that we're going to send.
What offer you're going to send. So all the way at the bottom as well, it actually has like the 70% rule. You set this up. Okay, so I want to make $50,000 or more on every single profit, and I want my return to be 15% or more. So you actually set all of these things up, and then let's say we're not meeting one of our criteria. We can simply come here and be like, okay, then maybe this should be our max allowable offer, you know? And then here we're passing all of our rules. But it's just a great way to mess with it and be in more control of your business at the end of the day.
Correct. I mean, it's another way, to be honest with you. It's another way. I'm sure there is more apps like this that can prevent this kind of value, but for us, we're always looking for the best one, and the best one means, you know, best value that they can provide for us, and the cheapest. You know, you want to keep your cost down as much as you can.
And the time consuming as well, because
Right.
I have used some other ones that are on like Excel sheets or numbers, if you're on Apple. But essentially they just get a little more complicated. This one is just showing us every single thing that we need. It's super quick. We usually check it right before we send an offer in, make sure our numbers are aligning. If we get a counter offer, we go ahead and adjust our numbers. That way we know where that would put us at. And it also gives us the options to mess with different hard money lenders, maybe at a 20%. Maybe at a 20% down payment with 4 points, would be a deal breaker, but maybe okay, so this wouldn't be the house to do a hard money lender on. Let's try and go and find a private money lender.
Or maybe the amount of we need to use to rehab the property is not 50,000, it's 25,000.
Yeah.
That can be, the deal for us. This is, everything depends on the property. Like I say, every property is different, every deal is different. But these platforms give us, a lot of information to make sure that we are in the right path. And let's talk about a little bit about the process, when we start, because everything we show you guys right now, we do this right before to send any offer, right before. So what we do is once we find the property, either we look at the MLS, we look at some of the market deals, we make a phone call directly to the seller. Somebody refer us any house. What we do, we go to the house, or we send somebody to the house and really see the pictures of the property, videos, and what is the condition, exterior and interior, how much money do you think is gonna cost us to rehab the property. This is the very first tip right there. You find the house, you go and see it. If you cannot go and see it, you just base your numbers in, I don't know, you open Google Map and then you go right there, looking and searching street by street, you look at the neighborhood and all the stuff. We do that a couple times too. And the process is very simple. We find the house, we do the numbers. If the deals make sense for us, we go ahead and send the offer, just like that.
A lot of people actually don't know this about Google Maps, but Google Maps is one of the only ways to travel back in time.
Mhm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know.
So I'm just going to show you a quick property here. It's actually on Google Street. Let me go back to the Zoom and show my screen super quick. So for those of you that don't know, this could be great, a great tool to also use. So this is a property that it's a random property, I would say. If you guys check right here where it says Street View, you actually see this was actually taken in February of 2021. But not just that, I can go back to 2008 and look at the neighbor.
Wow.
Look at the difference.
The other property don't even exist, right?
Look at this.
Damn.
So you see how many years I can actually go back and I can see a little bit of the history. So something as
14
simple
years.
as this, look, I can see that there was a garage there, the side of the house
Wow.
wasn't built compared to how it looks now. The garage, I can tell the garage was closed. And I'm just switching from one year to another, but look, so the garage was closed here. So you can actually see from 2008 to 2011, somebody actually closed the garage. So then you can look into seeing if there was like permits pulled for that or whatever the case is. Like every house is different. But you can actually see like every single, it's one of the only ways really to travel back in time right now.
Oh, that's nice.
Construction. Here you can tell, okay, so
Wow.
2018, they started building
wow.
but yeah, that's a great tool that not everybody knows. And
we use it a lot. We
Yeah.
use it a lot. So those deals that are like an hour away from where we at, this is the tools that we use. We just go there virtually.
for me personally, this thing comes with an upside and it also comes with a downside. It really depends on you and your business and how many offers are you sending on a weekly basis. But when you start trying to expand and grow your business, essentially you don't have to drive, especially if a property is 30 minutes, 45 minutes away. You don't have to drive to that house just to make an offer on the property. You should be doing most of your due diligence work from here. And then you still have that inspection period to where you go and you do all those things.
There's something important that we talk about, we covered in previous video. Inspection period, guys, is the deal set for you. So there is the period that you have a time to go to the property, inspect the property, even bring a contractor with you, 1, 2, or 3 contractors, and check your numbers with them, how much it's gonna cost this. The contractor will look at the property, not the same way you look at the property. They will look at the property, try to find something in a specific, I mean, like, problem with foundation, roof, AC, all those kind of stuff that he can probably make money on. So that's a great advantage that you can have right there, because the contractor will try to find those little things that you may don't see it upfront.
Yeah. Take advantage of those inspection periods when they're due or during that time. And for me personally, I would recommend to stop wasting so much time before that, especially in the market that we're in right now. I mean, for every 50 to 60 offers, we might get one accepted. If you're coming in as an investor, I mean, meaning you're probably not going to be the highest person. Anybody can come in overbid. But
And I'd recommend you guys don't be the highest bid.
yeah, if you're the highest bid, then you're
not
seeing
really-
something that
yeah,
they are not seeing. So
exactly.
really what it comes down to investors, it's just finding those people that need to close quickly. That's really where we shine, and that's really where, regardless of what people say, we really are needed out there, and we really are helping them. There's nobody can make real estate more liquid than us.
Correct. Mhm.
You know,
Other thing that we do a couple of times is the escalation offers. Most people doesn't know about this. Most agents, leasing agent doesn't know what is an escalation offer, and we use it a lot. What that means is you offer them, let's say the property is listed for $300,000, and you don't want to offer them full price upfront. You know your numbers will work at $300,000, but you're starting from the bottom. You're starting from 250 or 240, and you put an escalation offer up to $300,000. This will help you to get the best price under $300,000. If somebody you start offering 250 and somebody offer 260, you will still on top of that 260 by 2,000, 3,000, 1,000, depends what is the escalation you set up on that offer.
yes, just to kind of clarify that, because so whenever you're doing an escalation offer, let's say they listed it at 240. Some realtors like to list the property a little lower just so they can get bids or bidding more. So when he was talking about the $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, what he's referring to is you can actually say, okay, so I want to go $3,000 on top of whatever your highest bid is, but I can only go up to those $300,000. So if somebody came in and put it at 260, then you would be at 263, for example.
And you still winning that offer.
Yeah.
You don't pay full price.
Yeah, the only way you lose would be at, like, in this particular case, is if it's like a 298 or something like that. And then in that case, you're still kind of in the rat race to it. Maybe they can give you a call and you can renegotiate.
No, at 298, you're still winning because you're still at 300,000 right there. So the only way you
Would
lose.
that include the $3,000?
No, because they only take $2,000 from the tree. So you're still at $300,000 because that's the full amount that you are willing to pay. But if somebody send $300,000, so there we have two offers, and whichever is gonna win is the one that have better terms. Better terms in terms of inspection period and due diligence, and how much money you're gonna put it down, or on escrow, and how quickly you're gonna close,
Okay. And what tip do you have out there for our investors to be able to do some of their CMAs?
Well, like I say, try, guys, if you use a realtor, that would be the best way. But in case you want to do it alone, you want to do it by yourself, you can use of those digital platforms out there, Zillow, Realtor.com, Trulia. And what you really want to see, what you really want to look at it is the price per square footage on the area. How much a property sold in the area. But most important for me is what was the price per square footage. Of course, you're looking at the property, you find the property, and you want to see what is the average sale price around right now. But what you want to see is how much the property sold for around the property that you just found. And this is the sample right here. You just change the filter, and you're gonna look at the properties that is sold, residential, single family residential, because you want to compare apple with apple. You don't want to compare apple with bananas, like the sun, And this is pretty much what you do. The tips for me is look at the comps around the property that you found. Try to be under 1 mile away, and try to find how much is the price per square foot of course, you have to look at the picture, you have to find a property that is comparable with the property that you are going to fix and eventually sold, okay?
Yeah, guys, so the most important thing when running your comps, especially off of Zillow, it's actually a little different than for us as realtors, because our system takes a little bit of everything into effect and spits out a number for us. But what I've noticed, the best thing that you guys could do is try and stay either within 10 years of your property that you're currently trying to find what the value of it is. Try and stick anywhere between 10 to 20%, either up or down, everything is up or down, of square feet of the property. And
The same with bedrooms and bathrooms.
as
I
close
mean,
as
you
possible,
don't want to
bedrooms and
compare, you
bathrooms.
don't want to compare 3 and 2 with a 5 and 4, you know, 3 beds, 2 baths with a 5 beds, 2 baths with a pool. So you want to find, like I said before, apple that compares with another apple. That's something that is pretty similar, like this pen, this with this, you know, that's what you're trying to look at it. And Zillow can give you that kind of information, you know, you can look at the pictures and you can figure it out, okay, this house is pretty much, this house pretty much looks like this one when I finish the property, okay? That's what you want to look at.
Yeah, and all you're gonna do is just get the actual price that it sold. If you notice it sold for 404 and the estimate says 445.
Please don't pay attention to Sestimate. Don't pay attention to Sestimate. You don't want to deal with that. Just look at the property, and important here is the date that this property sold.
Yeah.
You want to be under 6 months, which means we are in, I mean,
Let's say a year.
we're heading in March right now. You want to go 6 months back. You want to start in September, okay? End of September, October. So that's the date that you want to look at, okay?
Yeah,
6 months.
so try and start with 6 months. If you can't find anything and you have to go back to a year, definitely start within that 6 months. So everything that we're saying is kind of a starting point.
And
Now-
and one little tip, sorry about that. One little tip is with this market is so hot, so you don't even need to go back 6 months. You can still on the 3 months. And one little tip for the investors out there, just start with 3 months, and I'm sure you're gonna find a lot of comps in 3 months, and we help you out a lot because
Yeah.
the market's changed a lot in the last 3 months.
Yeah, I would say it really just depends though, because inventory is so low that sometimes maybe there just isn't a property that's been sold there.
Correct.
So like if you can start with the property that sold last month, obviously that would be the best. So we're just kind of giving a kind of brief overview of where you should start. And then just know that like the farther you get away from that, the less accurate you might be. But again, we're just trying to kind of get our own estimate, let's say, because we don't trust what they're doing. So this is pretty easy. You're always going to look at the square feet of the house and the price that it actually sold for.
How many beds, how many baths out there too?
Grab that price and divide it by the total square feet and know what it's selling per square feet. It's really the best way. Don't just pick like 3 houses and then 405, 415, for example, and then come up with something. You should always come up with the price per square foot that the price is selling for. And then you'll be very accurate when it comes to your own comps.
Correct. But again, please, if you have a realtor, just use them because they want to be there for you. They want to be the ones that when you finish the property, they probably going to be the ones that will list that property and they will be happy to do a CMA. If they don't do that, just please give us a call and we will help you guys out.
Yeah, call area amount. I personally don't send me 50 properties to do CMAs on to maybe try and buy one.
Correct.
I would really love to sit down with you and teach you how to do it because it always goes back to that you can take a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink or
Correct.
something like
Correct.
that. So
We will help you and show you how to do it because for me, it's more important that you know how to do it. And if you find something that you may like and you don't know, we can make partner up in the deal as well.
yeah, so I feel like that's where we actually provide the biggest benefit. Us here at either Prime Flip or Home Prime, either of the two. That is definitely where we provide the biggest benefit. We're not just your realtors, we're also your investment partners.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, after you guys send an offer, we know how much we're gonna pay for the property. We know how much will be the cost of the renovation. We know how much we're gonna sell it for. Please, in the renovation side, don't overspend any money. Don't overspend. This is not your house. This is not the house that you're gonna sleep. This is not the house that you will have your child. This is not the house that you will have your family living. Please don't overspend. Just try to be as simple and beauty as possible. And what I say this, you're just gonna find on the area any property that they, somebody else do a rehab. So you just wanna copy and paste. It's simple. It's simple. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to do anything else major than anybody else. You just wanna copy and paste. If they do a black stone on the countertop, just do the same. If they do the sheet material on the floor, the laminate, I don't know what is the name of the LB something, LBT, just do the same. Okay, if they paint the house in white, just paint the house in white, because this is what is working on that particular neighborhood. Don't try to do anything different. So just try to do the same thing that they do, because the results out there are speaking for you. So you don't have to reinvent nothing. Just go and do it.
Yeah, guys, see, we've seen scenarios where the kitchen requires makeup and you're coming in here putting a level 3 granite. And at the end of the day, it didn't appraise your house any less or more. So whatever the comps are telling you, whatever those houses that you actually looked at when you were comping your house, try and pay attention to what materials they're using. And if they're blue and you want to go white, I mean, that's your opinion. That's whatever that. But try to be in the same materials category.
And this is the biggest mistake for a rookie out there. So if you ask me what is the biggest mistake that a rookie make in renovation stuff, is this one. Period. They overspend money on rehab, thinking that the house will price for more if you put this kind of material or this kind of materials. It's not the same. Remember, the pricer will look at the comps, the same thing you did before you buy the property. That's what they're gonna do. More specific, but that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah, and kind of during the process of the flip, also when you're looking to hire a contractor, let's talk a little bit about that.
3, that's the key number right there. You need to go to the property with at least 3 contractors. You need to have at least 3 quotes. You need to have something to compare. Prices are different for everybody. Nobody is going to give you the same price. And as a flipper, you need to find the best price, because your cost will kill you if they go up.
Yeah.
All right. And this is a little tip right there. If your contractors say it's going to cost you $50,000, be ready for $60,000 or $65,000. If your contractors say it's going to take him 2 to 3 months, be ready for 4 months. So you have to be ready for the occasion that you don't think about it. For the bad news, you have to be ready for those bad news. Hey, I need more money for this. Hey, I need more money for this. Don't try to squeeze your cochinito, ¿cómo se dice? Like your
piggy bank.
Yeah, don't try to do that. Don't try to do that. So be ready with money, and be ready with patience. So you have to be patient, because you cannot be at the phone every single day trying to find the contractor where he's at, what he's doing. So if you want to do that, just go and show up at the property. Don't tell anybody that we show up. Just go and show up. All right. That way he will know that you can show up at any time. All right.
So my biggest tip to anybody with the construction side of it, I think it even needs to go a step before that, and you need to decide what role you want to play in. So if you're a contractor yourself, and for example, you do roofing, so you got the roof, you have to see if you're going to hire somebody for any other trade, or if you're thinking of doing everything yourself. You have to realize or think of if you're going to be the GC, if you're going to be the one running the show. If you're going to be the one running the show, then you have to make those phone calls like, hey, why are you not here today? Or why this or why that? For me personally, I would really recommend, if you have no construction business whatsoever, it is not a business for you to actually become the flipper and then become the contractor as well. If you're trying to do both of those things at the same time, you are setting yourself up for failure, to be honest with you. In many cases, you might be a particular case. But in my opinion, you should get about 3 to 4, maybe 5, 6, as many as you can, honestly. If you can do 10, shit, go for it. But it should be a
For
minimum
that
of
reason,
3.
for that reason, you have your due diligence. period.
Yeah.
You have the due diligence, how many days, 3, 4, 5, 7 days, try to get everybody before the due diligence period expire.
Yeah.
You know, that way you will feel more comfortable, you know, with the offer you just made, right? Or the deal that you are in.
Yeah.
That's important. And I would tell you guys about what you said before, when I start doing flip, I told I'm a contractor. I was the one doing everything, pretty much everything. I don't know about nothing. So I was the one that picked okay, this is what we're gonna do, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do the demolition, I'm gonna put this window, and I'm gonna put this door, and I'm gonna put the cabinets and stuff like that. And that takes so much time. So much time.
Time that, 1, you're not paying yourself,
Correct.
and
And the
2,
quality of the
essentially
work.
costs you
Yeah, the quality of the work, because after that, I have to call somebody that
to come and do it.
come and do it, and I have to pay them.
Yeah.
So don't be that area. Don't be that.
Yeah.
So try to find somebody that is not a cheap. This is another tip. Don't go with the cheap version, because if you pay them as a cheap version, guess what you're gonna receive?
Cheap work.
Cheap work. And the market will kill you. When the buyers get into the property and they sell cheap work, they will kill you in feedbacks and stuff like that. And your property is gonna stay there. Or if you receive any offer, will be lower than you expect. So try to be the BBB. In Spanish is bueno, bonito, y barato. Try to be like that.
I would say that. Good.
Good,
Good.
pretty good.
And cheap. No, good, pretty, and cheap. Good,
Yeah,
pretty, and cheap.
just like that.
Try and be all 3. Good, pretty, and cheap. GCC.
That's good.
Yeah, guys. So my recommendation would actually be go straight to GCs and try and put that into your budget. The GC essentially is going to make some money, and he might be subcontracting everything, but that GC should give you absolutely everything. And you know, if you have to get on somebody's ass, you only have to get on one person's ass. You don't have to get on a whole different crew of asses. This guy should give you a scope of work. Very important for you guys to get a scope of work and deadlines for everything. And the biggest tip that I can give is pay when work is done.
Yeah, never pay before.
Don't worry
Never.
about future shit. If they're telling you, hey, I need $20,000 to finish the roof, and you kind of look at it and, bro, we haven't even started the roof. Why you need the money? You know what I'm saying? If you need money for material, I got you. Go to Home Depot, call me, I got you. I'll pay for the materials.
Correct.
But until something is done, do not pay for it. They will not come back, or you'll be chasing their asses to come back.
And when they say, hey, I need this amount of money before doing everything, it's probably because they are paying somebody else to do another job in other house. So
Yeah.
don't make that mistake. So keep your money in your pocket, and when you see everything is done, just pay them.
Yeah, guys. And again, this is all a people's business. There should be an order of how people get paid.
Communication, everything. Communication is everything in this business.
Your lenders need to get paid back first. They're the ones giving you money that you otherwise do not have anyways. So you'd be sitting on the streets without their money anyways. Your contractors. And if there's any money left over, it's for you.
Exactly.
If there's no money left over, then that's your fault.
Last one on the line. Last one on the line to get paid.
That's how it should be, because even if you didn't lose any, but you didn't make any on this property,
You still
those
have-
2 people are gonna come back on your next property.
Exactly. You still have his trust.
Yeah, make
I
sure
mean,
you
the
pay on
trust.
time. If you can have a scheduled payment, which comes together with that timeline of work. If you can make those 2 work and those 2 run smoothly, you will have contractors and you will have lenders for your entire business.
Correct. And before we jump into the financing stuff, I want to say something about contractors as well, because just an example, what I do, I just get price from them and say, okay, let's say it's $20,000. I will divide those $20,000 in 4 periods, okay? 4 months, because my holding cost would be 4 months, for example. And I say, you're gonna get $5,000 upfront, okay? It's like security deposit that we're gonna work together. The other $5,000 is the money ahead, and until this job is done, all right? I mean, demolition or electrical side or something like that. Right here, you get another $5,000. And then from there, we scale the next $5,000, just to give you an example. And he has to tell me where will be the deadline on the job that they're gonna do. I mean, it have to be the roof, okay, until the roof is done, I don't care. It's your next $5,000.
Everything should definitely be itemized. And once those things in that item list is done,
Correct,
payment comes after. It's that
Correct.
simple.
correct.
All right, so going into a little bit of financing, I know we talked about it on deal check, so we might actually make it a little quicker. My only two heads up on financing is consistently stay networking. Consistently stay networking. If you feel you have the best hard money lender, find the second best hard money lender.
Correct.
Don't just stick to the first. Figure out what the heck your points are, guys. If a realtor tells you, hey, how much are you paying for points, and you don't know, you're tripping. Figure out your business, okay? And figure out your interest rates. Also, those things are all negotiable, guys. If when we put them into deal check, it doesn't make sense at 4 points, but for whatever reason, it makes sense at 3 points, let your lender know that and communicate that. He might be
Everything-
able to go down to 3
Everything
points.
is negotiable in this business. There is not a flat fee on this business. Everything is negotiable, even points, even down payment, even how much money they're gonna give it to you. The terms, everything is negotiable. The monthly payment, you can put it back until you finish
Yeah,
the deal, and then the lender get paid.
Yeah.
Everything is negotiable. Don't be afraid to ask for something, because if you don't ask, there is only one answer, and it's no. But if you ask, hey, can we do this? It may be yes, right? That's how we do it.
it's not a yes until you ask, guys.
Correct.
So what he's referring to is in our scenario earlier where we were paying about $2,800 a month.
Can you go back to the scenario, just to let them know what we said?
So in our scenario on this case right here, if you notice, our loan payments are $2,680 per month, and we're gonna hold it for 4 months. You can actually negotiate, so that would be a total of $10,720 as our holding costs on that loan for those 4 months. You can actually negotiate, or just have, it's not even negotiation, it's a simple conversation with your lender, your hard money lender, whatever it is. Hey, instead of paying you these $2,680 every single month, can I just pay you the $10,720 at the end of 4 months? More times than yes, they'll tell you yes if you have, more times than no. They'll tell you yes if you guys have an actual relationship. Again, it goes back to relationship. If this is the very first time that I talk to you as a lender and you don't know me, and I don't even have something like this to be able to like, hey, look, I'm legit, bro. I've done 7 of these this year. I've done 8, 10, whatever the case is. I'm on my 3rd, whatever your case may be. This would definitely help you look a lot more credible and maybe get that yes a little easier down the road. And even though I'm saying network and meet as many people as possible, obviously keep the good ones and leave the bad ones, and make sure it's a win-win for everybody. If everybody's winning, everybody's going to want to stay on that team.
What we do, we always make sure that they get paid and they make money. If they make money, they will be happy. If they are happy, they come back for more. It's just that simple.
Yep. We've actually had lenders, though, one of the main reasons that you want to network is we've actually had lenders say that they don't lend on like wood frame properties, for example.
Correct.
So if that would have been our only lender and we would have just kept that lender, then we would have had to pass on that deal. Like,
Correct.
okay, we can't buy it. But instead we just send it to another lender who gets back at us with a different price, and we're able to close on the property.
So there is lenders that doesn't have, too much liquidity.
Yeah.
You know,
They have a lot of money out there.
if they don't have the money at the times, we may lose the deal. So for that reason, we need not only 1, 2, 3, 4. So we send, what we do is we send the entire package to everyone out there, every lenders that we have and that we trust and trust in us. So, and whichever give us the best terms in case of, in terms of interest rates, down payment and all those stuff, is the one that get the deal. It's that simple. Everything is negotiable, as I say.
We also didn't talk about, or we haven't talked about, and I'll bring it up now, we haven't talked about some of those requirements. So even just besides the money cost, different lenders have different requirements. There's lenders that are just going to trust you and say, okay, this is the deal. This is what the ARV is. Yeah, here's your 80%, for example. But there's other lenders who really don't trust your ass, and they're going to send an appraiser out there. They're going to send a survey person out there.
Yeah.
an inspector, and you're paying for all those things. Those things are added on to your cost. So you're paying that $500 appraisal fee. You're paying that $400
survey,
survey fee.
the $200 inspection, all the stuff, and they will require more down payment, like 40%.
I've seen lenders make more money than the flipper
actual
themselves
flipper,
that's doing all the work. But we do have to take into an account, guys, this is 80% their money and 20% your money. You don't have to be a scientist to know who is taking the bigger risk.
Correct.
Here. So the guy does deserve to get paid. You're essentially doing this on borrowed money, meaning it's infinite money, to be honest. So definitely take all those things into account.
For me, it's the most important thing, like you said before, is the relationship that we made with the lenders. You know, they trust in us. They see we are doing good numbers. They see we are profitable, because this is important. If you show them that the deals that you made money, and you make a lot of money, they will lower your interest. They will give you more money. They will really open the doors for you.
Yeah.
So every time you send a deal, they will be there for you. And when we don't send when we don't send the deal to them, they call us. They send us an email. Hey, do you have anything that you need phone? Just like that. We have a phone call the other day from somebody, I don't know, from Arizona. What is the guy? Something like that. Yeah. He offered like $4 million. He has $4 million to lend. And he was willing to give us 75% after repair value. That will cover us the entire deal,
And
including the repairs. Just like that.
Yeah, guys, there's people out there that would finance your rehab costs as well. So back to our scenario, if we needed $50,000, they would actually add that on top. So we wouldn't even need to come up with that $50,000 out of pocket.
That's a good deal right there. So every time that you find somebody that can do that for you, go and take it. Have a good relationship with these people. You have to take care of your lenders. Your lender is like your mom and dad. When you need money from them, they're gonna be there for you. If you're back with them, you're gonna left, right? You're gonna jump to something else. Exactly. But yeah, this is important. It's important. You need to have those relationship with them.
Okay, and kind of sticking into the subject of funding, let's just discuss a different type of funding. This is the one that I don't see a lot of people doing. And essentially, if this is your business, this is your full-time thing, like you're not a doctor that's side hustling, or you're not anything that's side hustling in real estate, this is your absolute business. You should buy a freaking shirt that says I buy houses or some shit, and walk around with it every single time. Let every single person, hey, I'm in real estate, and try and come up with as much private money as possible. Private money is just simply your neighbor, your mom, your dad, your brother, your grandma, whatever it is, your pastor. It doesn't freaking matter who it is. It's people that they literally trust you with that money. It doesn't matter if it's $50. If you have 20,000 people letting you borrow $50, shit, good for you. You know, if you have one that's letting you borrow $25,000, good for you. Make sure you're in use of that money, regardless of how you use it. Like that could maybe be your down payment.
Of course.
You know.
So that's how the people say you don't need money to make this business work. Because eventually, probably you have your dad, your mom, your sister, your brother, a good friend of you, like have $25,000 in the bank, sitting in the bank, don't make any money.
Yeah.
They don't make any money, and you say, hey, can you borrow me? Yeah, they make just 0.000. Yeah, you don't want to do that. and you come to this guy and say, hey, listen, I have this deal that will make me, this amount of money. If you borrow me $25,000, I will pay you 20% of this $25,000. So you will get back in 4 months your $25,000 plus, I don't know, $3,000. Listen, $3,000 is more than this $25 we made in 10 years on the bank.
Yeah.
So it's giving people the opportunity to invest with you, be a partner with you, and if you make money, they're gonna make money as well. Don't be afraid to ask. There's a lot of people that have money out there that are willing to work with you. And like I said before, if you guys have money and you don't know how to invest, you want to learn how to invest, you can partner up with us. We can do it with you guys. We can find the deal and we can fund it. That way you become partner with us and you will make money.
Yeah, guys. So if you notice, just simply on using private money, If you notice in this scenario, we're making $55,000 for the hard money lender. If we were to switch this, and the number doesn't have to change a lot, even if you're just saving on the purchase points, that simple factor alone, we're still gonna give our private lenders the 12%. So I'm gonna give my mom, my dad, whatever the heck, 12% of their money. Look at the difference.
$30,000.
Just from being able to get that money from a private lender instead of a hard money lender.
Correct.
So that is the importance of the cost of money, knowing what you're paying for your money.
It's important to know. That's the reason why you should know your numbers every time and every single deal. That's it.
100%. Your numbers, everything. One of the reasons I personally like real estate compared to every other investment class out there, stocks, even crypto, even though crypto is a class of its own. But it's literally the most predictable investment class there is. Like if I was to buy 100 shares of Apple right now, I am guessing that they're going to go, I don't know where they're at. It's an Apple.
It's like 270 or something like that.
That they're going to, I'm hoping that they go from 270 to 280.
It's only
Hoping.
$10 spread right there.
Yeah, I mean, I bought a shit ton of chairs, so whatever the case may be though, but I'm hoping, like there's nothing I can do. I can't sit outside on the street and like with an Apple sign, like so it can go up or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
And if the CEO go out and say, okay, guys, we fucked it up, and it's gonna go down. Something happening in the world is gonna go down. The beauty of real estate for me is that those volatilities are like slow, like the markets change in periods. And they call period for 6 months. In 6 months, you can really see how the market changed. What that means, if you can get in and get out within 6 months, you will still have your earning right there.
Yep.
You will still have the money that you predict from today.
Our goal most of the time is to be in and out in 4 months.
In 4 months. That's why we show you guys 4 months how it goes for you.
So
And
yeah,
listen,
guys,
if you do 3 deals in 1 year, like 3 deals, one every 4 months, and you make $50,000 on every deal, it's $150,000 you just paid before taxes,
using other people's money.
using other people's money, just like that. Guess what? Next year, you're gonna make 6. It's gonna be $300,000. And if you really understand how the deal flow is, you will still make more and more and more, because it will become easy. It will become a game for you. It's like a monopoly game, just like that.
Yeah. And my last recommendation would be, guys, make sure you know your numbers. We've said it. And not only numbers when you're buying and when you're selling, but if our projected rehab cost is $50,000, I need to write down every single penny
Every single
that left
penny.
my account and see how close we end up to those $50,000 at the end of the 4 months. If we went over budget, why did we go over budget? I might not bitch if we stayed under budget, but come up with your numbers as close as possible. And they don't have to be perfect, but try and go perfecting them little by little.
Guys, my first deal, I always gonna say this, was $11,000 profit, using $0 of my money. So it was $11,000 that hit my account without using any penny of my money. Guess what? How much was my second? $27,000. And it will go up and up and up. And even if it doesn't go up,
Tell them the most recent.
no.
Tell them, you gotta be honest with our people.
Well, it was over $100,000
Yes, sir.
right there.
Yes, sir.
And let me tell you guys, I didn't expect this. The market hurt me a lot, to be honest with you. I was predicting $60,000, but this way you can see how the market changed, right? And in this period of time, it was like 7 months, because it was a big house. It needed a lot of rehab, and we go through COVID stuff. My contractor both got COVID, and they was very sick, and it takes me sometimes. But we ended selling the house, and we make $100,000. That's a sweet deal right there. That's a sweet deal.
$100,000 in 7 months, guys.
let me tell you something. If you go out there and you ask flippers right now, how much is the profit? There is people out there making $25,000,
15, 10.
doing deals for 15, 10, 20, $25,000. But guess what? How much deal they make at you? 10, 12, 13. So I just make one that give me $100,000. This is for you out there. Everybody can do it. Everybody can do it. You just need to find the right deal. You find the right deal and put the right people together and work for the same goal. Guess what? You're gonna make it.
And he's applied a lot of the things that he learned. If I'm not mistaken, you didn't do anything in that house, all your contractors did. You went, showed up occasionally, you were at the office while your
Correct.
stuff was getting done.
Yeah, I was in the office pretty much the time. They just call me, hey, gray or black? I say gray. White or green? I say green. You know, that was pretty much my job right there. Showing up, you know, go to weekends and see, you know, because it's your money. It's your money. You have to feel in love with that money right there. You have to feel in love with the process. I go to the house, I show up, I look at everything, every single corner of the property. And then guess what? On Monday, I told them, hey, we need to do this and this and this, or we need to change this, or you guys did this and I don't like it, and let's change it, right? So that's the reason why you don't want to be the contractor. You have to be the one that check every point of the property and say, we're gonna do this way. And they will be the one that will do it. They get paid for that.
I was gonna give one last advice and it kind of just slipped my mind.
Yeah, do it.
Kind of slipped. So maybe if you stay talking, I'll come back.
I say, you know, like, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to invest your money in real estate, because the only place that you will put your money, it will stay there or will grow, is real estate. 95% of the millionaires in this country came from real estate, or they have real estate, or they own any piece of real estate.
Yeah.
Commercial, industrial, you know, residential, multifamily. So don't be afraid to invest the money. What you need to do is learn. You need to stay on track of every single new strategy that goes out. Even if you don't want to do that, you can partner up, like I said before. You find someone like us, you know, that are really active on real estate and investment side, and we can help you out.
Just
We
come
can
hang
help
out
you out.
for a few weeks.
Correct.
You'll learn.
Correct.
Fear just comes from not knowing, guys. I think the advice that I was going to give is, if you're actually already purchased a property, I don't see a lot of people doing this at all. And I actually learned this from a bigger company than even us. So if you already have a flip that you're currently going on or doing, guys, you need to comp that property. Try and comp it if you can weekly, because that's going to tell you, that's going to allow you to always be ahead of the market, right? Don't just comp the property now and say, okay, we can sell at 450, and then don't come and comp it again 4 months later and being like, oh shit, the market changed. You know, try and comp it maybe weekly, maybe every 15 days, and that can essentially change what your budget is.
Mhm.
So if you notice, like maybe in your case,
It
what
was.
happened with this
It
house,
was.
like you notice that the market just became hot, like it's going up, it's going up, it's going up. Okay, guys, you can just simply make those decisions on, okay, guys, maybe if we go with granite instead of Jamaica, just an example, we can actually reach that $500,000 mark instead of staying at 470 or something like that, you know? So once you currently do own a property, you know, you're getting rid of it, comp it as often as you can to make sure that you're top of the market and that the market doesn't just change. It can also, it helps mostly when you're going down. So like if you were putting that granite and you notice that the market is shifting, okay, guys, let's just put Jamaica because
Correct.
fuck it.
Don't overpay for your deal. That's it. Simple. If the deal is out there 275, doesn't mean that you have to pay 275. Doesn't mean that you have to buy that property for 275,000. All right? Because I see a lot of investors, new investors right there out there, that they see the property on the market for 275, they started off at 295, 295, 260, I mean, doesn't have a control of their numbers. So I really want to know what is my number. So what's the offer that I want to make, you know? And I always start from the bottom. I always start down. I never start from list price. I use this escalation offer that we talked about before. And this is just to closing this. Don't overpay for your deals and don't overpay for your rehab cost. Okay, that's simple.
Yeah, guys, the asking price is honestly,
The asking
how
price.
can we say this in the nicest way? They're just putting whatever the fuck they want, to be honest. They're kind of picking a range, especially in the market that we're in right now, guys. They're picking a range. So if that person is going with a realtor, they're kind of doing kind of what their comps are, and most of the times they're just inflating the price a little bit, you know. So if they're coming at 300,000, hey, let's put it at 350. The market's crazy. Let's see what the fuck we get. That's just kind of so you guys know where they are at, and the only thing that you should take into consideration when you're seeing a listing price is how motivated that person is to sell. If you know that they're looking for top dollar on their property, then okay, maybe that guy isn't that motivated to sell. Obviously, he wants to sell, the house is on the market, right? But maybe he's not that motivated to sell. Compared to where if they just listed it perfectly, or if they listed a little bit under, that could be sometimes a technique. But well, those things usually determine the determination of how bad that person wants to sell or how quickly that person wants to sell. But we don't ever take that number into effect. Usually, sometimes even when we run down the house down the line, we don't even send it with what their offer price is or what their asking price is, just because we don't want that person to even see that number. Like,
Correct.
I don't want that number to have anything to do with the price. Let me know what my max offer is compared to the things, to our buyer's box and the things that we have set up, and tell me if it makes sense or not. I don't care what they're asking for.
Don't overthink, just go for it. If you want to invest money, just go for it. Real estate is out there in every single corner. And in every single corner, if you know how to look at real estate, you can find opportunity. That's it.
And ask questions, guys. I would say you don't have to be a real estate agent to be an investor. Sometimes a lot of times it actually contradicts one of the other, because as an agent, you want what's best for the other people. It's actually in our part of our NAR stuff, ethical stuff, that, you know, whatever's best for other people. So as an investor, I'm trying to rip you the fuck off. I need that house for as low as possible.
Correct.
So those of you that have asked me, like, hey, is being an agent worth it? For me, it personally has. I've learned a tremendous amount of things, but it doesn't mean that becoming an agent has helped me out. If I knew what I know now, I would have probably just showed up here at the office, talked to Ariam, and shadowed him for a few weeks, you know, which you're more than welcome to come do with us. We'll actually take that time and spend it with you guys. Yeah.
All right, guys. So kind of like we're gonna finish this podcast today. We're gonna upload it on our YouTube channel. We're gonna upload it on our podcast channel as well. And probably you know, we're gonna spotlight a little bit YouTube, Instagram, I mean in Facebook, Instagram, so stuff like that. Give us a little time to do this this editing stuff. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, you can reach out to me. To my Instagram account, it's right there, Capestani Realtor, and you can reach out Yadiel as well. If you have any question regarding to real estate investment, real estate in general, we're gonna be here for help you guys.
Yeah, guys, if you guys are looking to become an agent, come join Best Realty, Home Prime Realty out there. That didn't come out how I wanted it to come out. Come join the best brokerage that we have. Are we allowed to talk about commissions?
Not yet.
No, like just in general. And people say like, hey, my commission split over there is 80-20, for example.
Not yet.
I'm talking about people.
Oh, people?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so our commission is not 80-20. That's just an example that I was using. But come and find out what our commissions are. I think you'll love them. And if you're looking to invest or partner up or whatever it is, anything that has to do with investments, we are here as well.
And even if you are a realtor and you find a deal for us, we're gonna buy it. We're gonna be your client on this side of prime flip. So because we purchase house cash at any price, any condition. That's what we do every day. We send a bunch of offers. So how many offers we sent last week?
We always try and hit at least 100.
Yeah. So if you find a deal out there and you think this is a good deal for us, to send it to me, send it to Jadiel. We're gonna second, we're gonna look at the deal, and then we're gonna see if it's a potential flip or investment that you can partner up with us. We're gonna get it, okay?
Yeah, or if you just want to be the agent, guys, which is what he was referring to. You get your buyer's commission, you get everything that requires. We're just another customer. So thank you guys for watching. If you stayed around for this long. And other than that, you'll be seeing clips in other places. So
Thank you guys. Have a great night.